not blowing up another barrel.
You guys are getting the first view of my new 25 GPC. After the last one I exploded, I'm only set up at about 25 yards right here. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I already screwed up because I didn't bring any lubrication with me. I usually like to shoot my first rounds with my bolt carrier group and the chamber completely soaked, but I didn't bring any of that. So this is gonna be really interesting to see how this performs. My first round is the 90 grain Sierra hollow point boat tails, and I'm running 19.5 grains of Wind 296, which I think is about 8% below quick loads data chart. So we will see how this goes. Sounded like it chambered. Let's see if I'm lined up right here. And I did a bore check just to see if my 20 GPC scope is about the same, because I'm running it on the same upper. So it should roughly be about the same for the 25 GPC. And then I really want to see if my chronographer's lined up right. All right, first shot ever. Here we go. It's off to the right. Let me change a couple things here. I do need to go over quite a bit to the left. Let's go a whole rotation. Still reading error. I went the wrong way. $25.87. Need to go to the left. Probably about. That should be good. All right, now we're gonna back it off to 100 yards. I always like to peek down the barrel after the first series of shots there. Looks really clean. Y'all can't tell, but let me try to focus off screen here. Okay, now you can probably see. Yeah, look at that. That's really clean. All right, we'll go to the actual loads next. I'm gonna start with 29.2 grains of BLC2 with the 116 grain shock hammer bullets. $25.91. Shooting really low. $26.38. 29.5. And I'm gonna go ahead and aim up. Same hole. 26.50. Wow. All right, let me go ahead and run the bore snake. I'm not gonna bore y'all with that, but I'm gonna clean this out real quick. .5 is starting to flatten the primer. So I'm gonna take a shot with these two and see how it does, and then make a decision if I'm gonna go as high as 30.1. $26.49. $26.22. That actually went down. I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot with 30.1, but I think the sweet spot's gonna be 29.5, running at about 26.47 FPS. 26.78. Yeah, there's an indication mark on that one. All right, we're gonna let it go. We'll stop there. I'm not blowing up another barrel. So the brass at 29.5 has a slight moon where the S is on the MDWS, but the primer is round. The middle one is at 29.8, and that definitely has a good almost full moon there. And then when you get to the 30.1, there's a big chunk of brass jumping out of there. So yeah, should have stopped at 29.5, which is the exact same load that I was using in my last barrel. And I'm averaging, I think, a 5 FPS spread, which is awesome, considering there's only been 4 shots through this barrel. This is the first set, 29.2. A lot of barrel whip going on there. 29.5 is touching. That's just awesome. And then 29.8 has a little bit of a whip going on there. So we're going to stick with the 29.5 as I did with my last barrel. Post-shot analysis of shooting the 25 GPC yesterday. I'm going to start with the patch that I just ran through. I ran it dry. I always like to see what the barrel is doing and what it looks like, and it looks really good. If you're seeing any granules here, it's only because of the last bullet that I pulled out. Some of the powder spilled inside of the chamber, and so that's what you're seeing there. But I like to run my barrels fouled, and this is what it looks like after 10 shots. So it's looking really consistent, and the powder buildup is right. Again, it's only 10 shots. The other thing that I noticed real instantly is I tried to line this up right. If you look carefully, I get this to focus, at the 12 o'clock position of the brass, there's actually, there it is. You see that on the primer, there's that really weird line there. And there's another one here that you can see if I get that in the shadow, right? See that? And then on this one, it goes away. There's a little bit at the 1 o'clock position there, and this one is gone. So I went ahead and evaluated the bolt carrier, or the bolt here, and I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up, but at the right, I'm trying to do this with one hand, basically at the 3 o'clock position, you can see that line there, and again, this is dirty because I haven't cleaned it yet, but do you see that burr right there where the primer is? And so also evaluating this, you could see how the primer is lining up to the bolt, and it's fairly consistent. And the other thing that I'm also looking at, since it's a brand new bolt, is how the primer is firing. Is it consistently in the same spot roughly? And with an AR, the bolt kind of floats. It does float. It doesn't kind of float. It definitely floats. But it looks like it's fairly consistently in the middle there, middle-ish. Good enough where I'm not concerned about having to get a new bolt. I am going to go with my other load of 29.5. I was of a is that CFE? Yeah, CFE223 29.5, and I'm getting an average of 2650 FPS. And Bruce was saying I would get about 30 FPS increase with the longer barrel, and that's exactly what I'm getting here. He knows his stuff. The SD was at 5, and the group is 0.170 right there. And so I do need to sight in the scope next time round. I'm also going to be testing the 90 grain hollow point boat tails. Is that 90? Yeah, 90 grain hollow point boat tails using, what do I have on that one? BLC2, because that's the hottest powder that I've got for that load. So we'll get this out then, and then I'm going to take this out to distance, and I think I'm going to try to push it out to 400 yards with the Hammer 116 grain shock bullets, just to see what type of accuracy I'm getting, because I can't decide if I'm going to use these bullets or the 90 grain hammers for my prairie dog hunt.